Hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a shiny hunt for Frigibax. I found that I had a Outbreak for them next to my Tinkatink Outbreaks, and I want a shiny Frigibax, so we are going to make that happen today. But first of all, of course, we need to make a sandwich. So, we're going to go into creative mode. We need cucumber and pickle as always, and then for dragon type, we need avocado. So that's going to be our type ingredient. Then for our condiments, we are going to be using Herba Mystica as we normally do. So we'll go sweet and go spicy, I believe is the one I'm allowed to do. Oh wait, no, sweet and sour does not work for any type. Okay, so we don't want that one. No. So we want, oh no, was it sweet and sour or sweet and spicy? Sweet and sour. Okay, so sweet and spicy does work. Okay, perfect. And then we'll use our blue Pokeball pick. Alright, we've got some ingredients to put on this bread. Let's get it done. We'll start off with our avocado. We're going to lay that down. This is the sandwich that we used for Sliggoo back when they did the event with Sliggoo and Beldum, all of the Goomy, all of the pseudo-legendary Pokemon. So I'm familiar with this sandwich quite a bit, actually. Okay, so pickle. And last thing. Now, what really interests me is based on what the next region is based off of. What food are they going to use as the official food of the region? Because remember, in Galar/England, it was curry, which isn't really an English food per se, but it is very popular in England. And then in Spain here, they used sandwiches. There's a lot of rumors that say that the next region is going to be based off of like either Greece or Italy. So like Italy, I could see it being like pasta or something. I'm not sure what food it would be in Greece. Interested to find out. Alright, unless they completely change this mechanic, they make it something different that's not food based. Although food seems to be a very popular choice for them. They like to integrate food into these now. It's a very cultural thing, food, so that makes sense, I guess. It's a way of saying this region is tied to this area without explicitly saying this is England or Spain or whatever. Okay, so our sandwich is done, and now we are going to start, lack of a better word, culling the Frigibax. Frigibax is normally this gray color. The shiny version is a light blue. So we are going to be looking for light blue Frigibax. That's been 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22. 23. This one already? Nope. 24. Okay. I was about to be like, no! 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38. 39. 40. 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 46. 47. 48. 49. 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, come on, 57, 58, 59. Is that one it already? Hey, that looks shiny to me. Is this it? Nice! We didn't even get to the part where I'd actually have to do things. Alright. Well, in that case, let's swords dance it up. Love it when a shiny hunt goes good. We could potentially get more than one out of this. Oh, I used swords dance. Why didn't I use... False swipe, that's what I want to use. There we go. You know what? It's a pseudo-legendary. I'll use a Master Ball on it. Why not? There you go. Alright, we got a shiny Frigibax. I want to keep going, though. We could potentially get more than one. That'd be kind of cool. I'm gonna name it Bluey. Been watching a lot of Bluey lately. You know, kids. I'll send Bluey to the boxes. Alright, so now we know kind of what a shiny looks like. So let's go look around and see if we can't find another one. Another slightly blue one. Not this gray color. And it looks like there's a ton around. We used a dragon recipe, and there aren't really any dragon Pokemon in this area, which is very helpful. which means all of the spawns in the area have become Frigibax. Because that's the only Pokemon that could spawn around here that's a dragon type, which is perfect. It's going to make finding our Frigibaxes easier. Is that one? No, that one's just a regular one. And so I think if we're far enough away as well, this doesn't even count as part of the outbreak, because we are not even in the spawn radius for the outbreak here. We'll be able to get a ton of Frigibax scales, which is cool. Because Frigibax scales are worth quite a bit of league points, so it'll be nice to be able to get all these league points from these Frigibax scales here. Might be able to max out at $9.99. Alright, I think that one's a regular one. These all look regular. Regular. That's a regular one. Alright, we're keeping our eyes out. We're looking for bright blue. Get a second shiny Frigibax. That would be pretty dope. Is that one? No, that's a regular one. Lame! Not much anymore. Be a little cavalier, I guess, since I already got one. I don't have to be particularly careful about how many I knock out at this point. The outbreak goes away, it goes away. I've got what I came here for. Would it be cool if I found a second one? 100%. If I don't find one, it's not at this point. And I just finally got Baxcalibur in Pokemon Go. That was a very arduous task. Lots of rare candies used on that. But that kind of happens with pseudos. They're hard to find in Pokemon Go. They don't spawn very often. Like, I still don't think I have Dragapult either. I think I'm closer on Dragapult, if I remember correctly. Alright, let's see here. Right up next to thing. No, you're not shiny. You knocked out. Let's see. No. And I feel bad for all those people who tried to like Masudo method this, because this is way easier. Or it was way easier just to get a shiny this way. Then again, at the beginning of the game, Herba Mystica wasn't very easy to find, so it wasn't as easy to do what I'm doing right now. Those last few Mighty Mark raids have been very helpful. Now, something I'm interested in, and something I think about a lot when it comes to these Mighty Mark raids, is for the most part they have been starter focused, and clearly the next month or so is focused on this Rayquaza raid that's coming. That's going to be a 5-star raid. It's not going to be as difficult as the Mighty Mark raid. I mean, I'm certain it's going to be hard. I mean, it is a legendary Pokemon. I assume it's going to be pretty beefy. Maybe a little bit more beefy than your average 5-star raid would be. But it's not a 7-star raid, right? They're not going to be level 100. They're not going to be as difficult. But then after that, right, we still don't know when ZA is coming out. I'm hoping it's going to be in like February. It probably isn't going to be February. It might end up being like June, potentially. Like it could be even later than that. Like they haven't really told us anything, so we don't know. But like best case scenario, it's February, right? That ZA comes out because according to leaks, the game's finished, right? It's ready. They are biding their time and making sure that they release it at an opportune time for them, business-wise, I assume. Right? They're probably trying to pad a quarter report or something for shareholders because they know a Pokemon game is going to sell really, really well. The Switch's lifetime is coming to an end, so it might be getting like a dual release on the new Switch. We're not really sure. That seems to not be the case based on what leakers have been saying. But, you know, once ZA comes out, I don't imagine there's going to be a whole ton of stuff going on in Scarlet and Violet. Like, there's still probably going to be raid events and different things going on. They might have a couple more outbreaks here and there, stuff like that. But, like, I imagine a lot of the focus is going to end up being on ZA, and there's going to be stuff happening with that. And I know, like, when they did Arceus, it wasn't really expected, but there was kind of like a little DLC package at the end, which was kind of cool. That added a little bit more to the game, and I'm hoping that ZA has something like that as well. Like it's a complete game, and then they just like, let's just put a little bit more on the top. Something I am interested in then, right, is are there going to be more Mightiest Mark raids? I'm assuming there are going to be. There were a few that weren't starters. Like that Dragonite was not a Mighty Mark. Was not a, or the Dondozo was not a starter Pokemon. So they are willing to put non-starter Pokemon in there. They haven't done a legendary Mightiest Mark raid yet. I think that would be really cool. But then they also haven't done the Paldean starters. So I'm assuming, my assumption is when the new year starts, we're gonna get the Paldean starters. Those are gonna be the next Mighty Mark raids. We'll get Quaquaval, we'll get Skeledirge, we'll get Meowscarada. They'll have their hidden abilities. They'll be Mightiest Mark raids. And then after that, I would assume they might pick maybe a few more powerful Pokemon for competitive, or they might be like, hey, legendary Pokemon are back now. You know, we took them away for a little bit in competitive. We're gonna make competitive Pokemon really OP again. We'll put the legendary Pokemon, the Paradox Pokemon back in, and we're gonna get raids for, like, I think it would be really interesting if they did another round of raids for the legendary Paradox Pokemon, so like the legendary dogs and the Swords of Justice ones. I mean, so you can get more than one in your game. That would be kind of cool. Because right now we're limited to just the one unless you trade for it. And it's like nobody's willing to trade. They're really dope Paradox Pokemon. So you can't really get another one. And if you do get a second one, you're like wondering, it's like, okay, is this Gen or something? So like I could see them potentially doing that. Or they're going to be stingy and they're going to keep it at just one per game, which is a little obnoxious, but you know, I can see it. I could also see them potentially making a Mightiest Mark raid, or one of the last Mightiest Mark raids in Scarlet and Violet, instead of making shiny Koraidon and Miraidon a giveaway, it would be like a Mighty Mark raid. So you'd get Mightiest Mark Koraidon, and it would be guaranteed shiny. That would be kind of neat. So like the battle, it would be shiny. You catch it, it's a shiny. But it would be more challenging that way for sure. It would be way more fun, I think, that way. And I think it would be an interesting way for them to give out these shiny legendaries that are shiny locked currently. So like, for instance, Meloetta is now not shiny locked. They're giving it away in Pokemon Home if you complete all the Paldea Dex regions, right? And then in March, it's going to become available through Pokemon Go. So like those two that Pokemon is no longer shiny locked. But there's tons of other Pokemon that are shiny locked, and I think it'd be interesting if they took the opportunity to like make those shiny locked Pokemon raids. And so then, one, there's that air of difficulty, like, ooh, I do actually have to try in this raid. I do need to log on and prepare and be ready for this, because it's a legendary Pokemon, and they're going to be shiny. So, like, if you fail and you don't get it, that'd be a huge bummer, right? You wouldn't have that Pokemon then as a shiny, so you'd miss out on that opportunity. And then, but then also, like, I think it would bring a lot of people back into the game, like, post-ZA's release. So like ZA is released, and in that last, those last, however long the Scarlet and Violet life cycle is, you can get the shiny Treasures of Ruin. You could get shiny Koraidon and Miraidon. You could get Terapagos. You could put Ogerpon out there as an opportunity to get in these shiny raids. And they'd be Mightiest Marks. They'd be really hard. And it would be something to really like wet players' whistles for those of us who are still kind of want a little bit more out of this game before its life cycle ends. I mean, I figure that this is definitely going to be the main game through all of 2025. Like clearly Worlds of 2025 is going to be Scarlet and Violet. I could even see Worlds 2026 being Scarlet and Violet. Like, I don't think Gen 10 is going to come out in time, potentially, for that to happen. Like, I could see it being released holidays 2026, because they seem to have been given the green light to take their time, which, honestly, like, thank goodness. Like, it's about time they've been like, okay, guys, actually make a good game. Like, take your time, make sure it's good, make sure the hardware is up to specs. Like, Scarlet and Violet really, like, put a glaring hole in the system that they were under. Like, and I feel like we've all kind of known that for a while. Like, X and Y was, like, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't, like, the best Pokemon game that ever existed. Sun and Moon were pretty good. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon were okay. I thought Sword and Shield were pretty good. I mean, it wasn't like, amazing, but I don't really care about, like, the technical stuff about it. Like, you know, it's like, oh, the frame rate for that tree is bad. I don't care. I cared about, like, the Pokemon content. And I thought it was pretty good. And I thought Scarlet and Violet, you know, minus the technical issues, had a lot of potential. And I think it did pretty well with what it set out to do, with, like, the specific style of game it was going for. And, like, their first attempt at open world and, like, you getting to choose your path and stuff like that, I think that was a pretty solid first step. But this next game, right, promises to be, like, it has to improve upon this. It's got to be better. And so, like, making the world more expansive and more awesome, and like making sure that it runs okay. And like, it would be cool if we got, like, I don't know, more than 100 Pokemon in a game again, like new ones. That would be neat. Really, like, really go for it. Like, expand the decks a little bit. Like, I know that they're being a little bit more, like, choosy on what they do to add to the decks nowadays, because there are over 1,000 of them now. But, like, it would be nice if, like, the 10th generation, like, really went for it and expanded the decks. Like, yeah, add in another 150 Pokemon. I'd say go for it. Like, I'm not opposed to them doing something like that. I know a lot of people are, because they think that there's, like, a lot of the new Pokemon are bad, but, like, I want them to go for it. I think they should take a swing. They might as well. Alright, we finished the Outbreak. We didn't find another one. I'm going to collect some more Frigibax scales, but I don't need to bore you with all that stuff. I hope you enjoyed watching me look for shiny Frigibax. Next week there will be a new Outbreak with some new Pokemon to hunt, so I'll be back. Probably looking for those. I'm trying to remember what the next Outbreak Pokemon is. I can't remember if it was something particularly enticing for me or not. So I might hunt it, I might not, but I'll definitely be back showing off the raids next week. And don't forget there are Chansey out and about, so if you don't have any shiny Chansey, now is an excellent time to go try to find some. I have like 80,000 shiny Chanseys between Pokemon Go and the standard Pokemon games. So that doesn't really wet my whistle. But might wet yours. So if that's something you're looking for, we could, maybe I need to make a video about shiny hunting as well. So maybe I'll put a video for that together too. So yeah, thanks for watching. This has been Mango Oblivion Plays, and we're out of here for now. Adios.